Hello and welcome. In this video we are going to look at how to deploy the result and training microservices for use with ThingWatcher or ThingWorks anomaly detection. This video will cover the deployment through jar files. Another video will cover the Docker deployment. The required files are located in the ThingWatcher media downloaded from btc.com. All we need here are the files in the microservice-jar folder. We can ignore all the other components in this downloaded ThingWatcher media. The first step is to create a microservices.property file that can be stored anywhere on your disk. The content should look similar to this. So for the first property, we point to the result microservice URI. On the second property, we give the path to a folder that needs to be at the same level as the jar file and the YAML files. This folder will contain the model files that will be created. The other properties need to be there, but need to remain set to a null value like it is shown here. Once this is done, we need to review the result YAML file, which is the configuration of our microservice. Two things are important here. The first is the URL to the database. If you are using Windows, you need to update this from the out-of-the-box file in order to use a relative path to the database file. The other point that is important is to ensure that the port for the application and administration are not used by any other application. When this is done, we can simply start the microservice. We execute the command as documented in the Help Center. The part that is configurable is the properties file property, which needs to point to your microservice.properties file. Press Enter. And the microservice is started as indicated here. A simple way to validate the access is to go in a browser and enter the URL for the microservice. Here we see we can access it, and the output is as expected since we have not created anything as yet. The result microservice is done up and running. We can go to the training microservice. Again, here, as for the result microservice, we need to double check the YAML file. Similar as for the result microservice, we need to ensure that the ports are not in use. And here, this is important to update this because by default, it will come with 8080 and 8081, which are the same port as the result microservice. So if you are running both on the same machine, you do need to update this port here and here. Once this is done, we can simply execute the Java command to start the training microservice. In the same way, the properties files property has to point to your microservices.properties, and we press Enter to start. Again, here it tells us that we are started. We can go through the same little validation test and access the training URL. We can confirm that we can access it, and the output is as expected. So both our microservices are up and running at this stage. The last step that needs to be done if we are using the anomaly detection inside ThingWorks is to configure the alert subsystem. For this, we need to go in Composer, access the alert processing subsystem, and we need to fill the correct URL for the anomaly detection training service and result service as shown here. Once this is done, we are ready to set up some anomaly alert in ThingWorks, which is demonstrated in other videos. I hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching.